go.
I'll be playing Landslide for you by Stevie Nicks.
That was great. It's like I wasn't even in the room. Okay, I'm going to ask you a few general questions just to get to know you better. What are your career objectives?
So, at this point, I'm very open with my career objectives. I definitely want to be a music therapist, but as for what population I want to work with, I'm very open to that question. Maybe something in a clinical setting or a psych setting. I could work with children or geriatrics. I think I'm mostly leaning towards the clinical or psych population now.
Is there a group that you think you work better with from your experience so far?
From my experience so far has only been children. But I've enjoyed that. I've enjoyed that a lot. So typical learning children and then a child with autism. And they've both been very challenging as well as rewarding. So I'm very open to that.
qualifications do you have that make you think you'll be successful?
Qualifications?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think I am, as I'm going through my practicum sessions, I've really been improving in thinking on my feet. With one of my clients, he was a 5-year-old with autism, and he didn't have a very long attention span, and so we would definitely have to think on our feet and say, okay, he didn't like that. Well, how about this? Okay, well, maybe with a different instrument. Maybe he just doesn't like this song. Maybe he doesn't like the guitar. And so having to think on my feet was something that I think I've really progressed in. As well as, I guess that goes along with being prepared for this session musically, as well as thinking ahead for variations that may have to be made within a session.
Mm-hmm. That's very important. What major problem have you encountered and how did you deal with it?
Major problem I've encountered. Within practicum or just within work?
Okay, specifically practicum.
Okay.
If you don't have one, then you can generalize it.
Okay. I'm going to go back to my previous example just because that's been the most challenging thing, I think. Which I think I can apply it to the preschool practicum as well. Children can just be kind of off the wall sometimes and not want to sit still and, just run around and not do what you want them to do. But, that happens. And so I think a very challenging thing has been knowing what is appropriate to say. For example, I have a 5-year-old nephew who I can be very stern with, and parental with, but can't do that with your clients. And so just finding appropriate ways to get back on task and be still light and happy, and this is a fun session, but we have to do what we're supposed to do. So I guess that would be a big challenge for me.
Good. A few scenarios
Okay.
to go through. Okay, a woman is paralyzed, loves music, especially opera, and she used to sing in a chorus. Her family supports her and she's interested in using a computer, but she's unable to right now. And she becomes tearful thinking about that. So what could you do?
If she's unable to use the keyboard, if she maybe has some fine motor issues, I don't know, maybe that's the issue. Maybe that can be addressed on the piano. And that can be related to her love for opera. Picking some opera piece that she loves. If she's able to sing it, maybe I could start on the piano and maybe she could learn the melody line or something along that line and just progressing through the piano. So, yeah.
I think that's a good thing. And it relates to the keys on a keyboard, too.
Right, yes.
A man in his 70s sleeps most of the day. When asked if he wants to join in a music therapy session, he says he's sleepy. He enjoys playing cards and sports. So how would you draw him out?
Okay. You could definitely make some type of intervention that incorporates a card game. There's many ways you could do that. Or maybe even a card game with baseball cards. There's songs like Take Me Out to the Ball Game, and there's all these different tunes you hear when you're at a ball game, like da-da-da-da-da-da, and just things like that, that might make him laugh. Or, there's different tunes like on ESPN and sports channels and things like that that he might be more familiar with and more able to, engage within the session. Mm-hmm. So that might draw him out of his comfort zone.
Mm-hmm. This has not to do with it mainly, but what can you think of any goals that he might like that you might want to use for him in drawing him out to be with the rest of the group for the session?
Definitely some social goals for sure. Social interaction, eye contact, expressing himself verbally, especially maybe, social emotional goals, expressing how he feels, not being so self-absorbed or shut in with just his own thing, but being able to express his emotions with others, talk to others, and maybe without them having to start the conversation. So that would be what I think.
That's good. Okay, so now if you could please grab your guitar. And if you could play If You're Happy and You Know It.
Okay. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
That was great. Can you name one goal that you would use that song for?
I could use it for, let's see, definitely for a physical goal. There's clapping your hands, there's stomping your feet, there's also verbal goals that you could use with that, saying hooray or all right, giving a thumbs up and saying it. There's a lot of different, following directions. So there's a lot of things that song.
Good. Okay, that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.